Hello, I'm Denis Pinchuk, and today I'd like to present my brief overview of my discussion paper. In my paper, I compare the two parallel processes of integration in Eurasia: enlargement of the European Union to Central Eastern European countries, first, and second, formation of Eurasian Union. What I try to explain is the willingness of the Central European Eastern countries and the former Soviet Union countries to give up part of their sovereignty soon after regaining their independence. Also, I try to assess the benefits and cost of joining the EU and Eurasian Union. I conclude the following: that countries from both regions, including post-Soviet states as well as the European Union newcomers from the Eastern and Central Europe, had to give up part of their sovereignty, having become parts of the both blocs. But there is a profound difference. In exchange, the new European Union member state gained a lot from functioning European system. Because of their joining the European Union, post-communist countries were able to import and implement institutions and better governance that helped their economies to be more sustainable. The norms and values they received from the European Union, they were able to establish human rights protection mechanism and rule of law. On the contrary, the post-Soviet countries led by Russia were not able to improve their governance and practices by importing better norms. Because actually they didn't have to import their norms from somewhere. It stems from the fact that Russia is not able to export norms and practices because it does not possess them. I argue that Russia acts inconsistently and applies contradictory policies, in terms of foreign policies especially. I explain this by the fact that Russia's foreign policy is formed and is being formed not by the single power, like the president or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as it should be according to the constitution, but is being formed by several elite groups that influence formation of such policies towards post-Soviet countries. These groups conflict between each other, and this brings issues to Russia's approach to the Eurasian Economic Union, making it non-sustainable. There are numerous examples of this. We witnessed several energy wars, even between Russia and Belarus, even between the countries that are supposed to create not just Eurasian Economic Union, but the Union State. Also, the disputes over agricultural products happened many times, and the Eurasian Commission did not have enough power to resolve them. Having created by the example of the European Commission, this Eurasian Commission failed to become a powerful transnational actor. Unlike the EU, the Eurasian European Union never considered implementing single currency and monetary and budget policy. It is not possible, given the huge gap between the extent to that their economies and budget systems are developed. In light of my criticism of the reading for this presentation, I would like to highlight the following. In Linden and Kilian article, I have not found an answer what people in Central Eastern European countries really think about their costs of being a part of the European Union. Do people feel the costs are too high, or they have enough their advantages and they know their benefits very well. I do not see an answer why people do not understand a link between their improved living standards on having joining the European Union and Europeanization and democratization. I also wonder what the European Union could offer to those who are not really happy with their countries being the member state, and how Brussels can return the trust to the idea of the Europe without borders that had been so powerful after the fall of the Berlin Wall. My criticism on Sakwa article focuses on two issues. First, I would like to have an answer why the post-Soviet states joining the Eurasian European Union. Were they seeking protection in the field beyond economy, like security reasons, and did they really need to be under a security umbrella of more powerful neighbor, like Russia? Or they were driven by purely strategic economic interests? What such interests really were? Second, I would like the article to answer the question what the ultimate goals for the post-Soviet countries had been for them to join the new pact. And I have two questions for today's discussion. Questions are following. First, is it true that Central Eastern European countries joining the European Union seems like path dependence and repeat of the past when poor and non-powerful state had to accept that the decision regarding their internal affairs are being made abroad, beyond their borders, somewhere in Brussels. And second question, to what extent the post-Soviet countries, when joining the Eurasian Economic Union, did it according to their will and strategic interests rather than under Russia's pressure, and can it be considered as new Moscow's imperial move to influence the neighbors rather than following cooperation and mutually beneficial trajectory? That's a brief overview of my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.